Striking a stimulus deal. The House of Representatives expected to pass the $484 billion coronavirus relief plan today. The bill would add $321 billion to the Paycheck Protection Program. It will also grant money to economic disaster funds, hospitals, and coronavirus testing as well. This coming as House Speaker Nancy Pelosi is backing off of her push to allow proxy voting for House members during the pandemic after opposition from House Republicans, most notably GOP leader Kevin McCarthy. Joining me right now is House Energy and Commerce Committee Texas Congressman and medical doctor himself, Michael Burgess. Congressman, it's good to see you this morning. Thanks very much for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
First, let's talk about this bill. Are you going to vote yes today?
Yes, I will vote yes today. The infusion of cash into the very popular payroll protection program is critical. There were so many people that I've talked to that did all the right things and got to the window just in time to see it close. So this needs to be reinfused. I'm also encouraged, hearing a little bit earlier on your program, that one of the universities with a large endowment fund has decided to give the cash back. That is the correct response. We need to get this money to the people where it was intended. Perhaps Congress could have done a little bit better job as far as drawing the guardrails and guidelines when this bill was passed. But remember, it was a big bill. It passed in 5 days because of the urgency with getting money out to those businesses that needed payrolls for their employees that they hadn't furloughed.
Look, this package is called the payroll package. So I understand that this is really a focus on payrolls and getting money to people who are furloughed or at home and they're not working and they don't want to lose the job. But you know, Congressman, this needs to be tweaked in other ways. Let's face it, you can't just keep throwing money at the problem, right? Number one, the fact that you're going to be giving these loans to businesses and the clock starts running for an 8-week period in order for them to get that loan forgiven. Well, you're in the middle of a shutdown, so that's not going to do anything for the businesses who are probably going to go bankrupt. Yeah, okay, their employees will get money, but they can't just use 25% of the money to pay rent and other expenses while not having any revenue. We're in a shutdown. So will you be able to tweak that 8-week rule? Number two, you've got people working from home who are making more money at home than they would be on the job. If you're talking about reopening the economy in the next couple of weeks, good luck getting somebody to come out of their home making $23 an hour when they at work making $18 an hour before July 31st, since this program goes until July 31st. Are you going to tweak that?
Well, first order on the length of time. No one knows how long and how deep this thing is. The whole idea when this started right at the end of March was, let's preserve some of the economy so that it can emerge on the other side. Remember, the economy fundamentally was not what had a problem. The problem was the virus. And if you fix the virus, the economy you want it to have the pieces in place to come back, the infrastructure to come back. Now, of course, no one knew at the end of March, and I don't know today if whether that timeline still holds. But the fact of the matter is, if you hadn't done something, guarantee that there would be nothing there on the other end, and that was unacceptable. As far as the level of funding, where I live, people have got bad cabin fever. They want out. They want to do things. They're anxious to go to work.
So is it too soon to start opening parts of the economy? You heard what President Trump said about Brian Kemp's plans in Georgia. You're a medical doctor, Dr. Burgess. Tell me about that. I mean, are you ready to reopen things in parts of the country now, given where we are with treatment and vaccine, which is nowhere?
Well, we're nowhere with vaccines, but that's a longer road. But I think it is correct to open parts of the economy and parts of the country. And I think that phased and measured opening is exactly the right prescription. Look, and I learned yesterday that there are hairstylists that are going into people's homes, on house calls. We've got to figure out a way that we can let some of those businesses open back up, because what's happening on the black market is anything but safe by any definition.
Well, that's a really good point, actually. That's true. You're right. You are seeing a lot of that, actually. And, Congressman, you're right. I didn't mean nowhere, because I want to give a big shout out to the pharmaceutical sector and doctors and nurses everywhere, because I know that they're working night and day for treatments, and we've got some progress on the hydroxychloroquine as well as remdesivir from Gilead Sciences, and, of course, a lot of companies talking about human clinical trials for the vaccine. So I stand corrected on that. Congressman, it's good to see you this morning, sir. Thank you so much.
Great. Good to see you, Maria. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Congressman Michael Burgess. We'll see you soon.